Are we live? Are we live? Yeah, we're here on YouTube. It looks like we live. That's good. That is good. Everything checking out. Everything checking out. Let's have a little look on my phone. Josh mixed it.
I'm doing a little boost here.
No, that's not the live stream. Okay. Live stream is up. We're ready to go. So I'm going to upload this on YouTube. So I'll do a little introduction and that. It is the middle of the day on a Thursday, so I'm not expecting many people to come through. But I just wanted to do like a long video to put on YouTube. And if people come through whilst I'm doing this, then that's great. Can ask questions and all of that. But yeah, I'm going to set up a new recording template. I kind of realized that usually when I do videos, I do it with kind of the mindset that the people watching know what I'm talking about, knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. So I'm going to kind of do a very, 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 very stripped back recording template. It's going to be all you need, honestly. There's not going to be like 100 different plugins. It's just going to be all you need, like most of you need, just to have a nice recording template, and it'll be easy for you to follow and set up as well. After, I'm gonna show you my actual recording setup, which is a little bit more intricate. So if you're more advanced, then you can stick around till then. And then we're gonna mix a song. Not mix a song, but we're gonna go over some bits. So yeah, let's get cracking. I do need to off screen. I need to download some stems for an artist before they expire, because they sent it a few days ago. So let me just download these stems real quick. Hoping they ain't expired yet. Yep, they've expired. Brilliant. Fuck's sake, man. It's the thing with WeTransfer. But yeah, I'll sort that out in a bit. All right, so yeah, let's create a new template. Let's start from the very, 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 very jump, like just a blank slate. We're gonna put it in mine. This. And we're gonna call it new recording template. So I put my keyboard up here so I can actually see it. Cool. No, we want it blank. Great. All right, so we're gonna do let's get rid of the console one. Move that out of the way. So this is gonna be so simplified and so easy to follow. I'm hoping it will stop people from messaging me asking me to send them templates. Like, you just need to follow this video. I'm gonna make it so easy for you, hopefully. Real simple. All right, so the first thing you're gonna need, so this is what pops up in Pro Tools. If you use Logic, it's gonna be a similar kind of window. Ableton, all of these DAWs usually have a similar window. You got your mix window, and you got your what do they call this? Playlist window. What do they call it? They call it something. Edit window. My mind just went blank now. All right, even that was too quick. Let me slow down. All right, so first thing, let's set our playback engines. So as you can see, mine's at 1024 samples, the buffer size. That's gonna make it so there's gonna be a lot of latency when you're recording. So you want to get as low as possible, as low as your interface and your computer can handle. You'll know if it can't handle it 'cause you'll start hearing pops and glitches and stuff. But I usually record on 64. 128 is fine. 256 is when you start hearing latency. You know, you start talking and you hear yourself a split second later. So you want to get that as low as possible. I usually use 64. I've never actually tried to use 32. I just never really needed to. Cool. So first thing we need to do is create a track for our a stereo track for our beat. Let's just call it beat. All right, that's our beat. We're also going to do a master bus. Let's just call this, we'll call it mix bus. All right. Oh, I wish these wasn't here so we could really do it from scratch. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's delete this actually. All right, and we're going to do output new track like that. So yeah, it's going to be called mix bus. So everything is going to go to this mix bus here. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm already... Yeah, that would do. Cool. So our instrumental is going to go here, obviously. When we get our beat, we're just going to drag it straight into the beat track. All right, so you can download it from YouTube. You can do whatever you want. And it'll be simple as this. Let me show you. Just drag it from your desktop into there. That's your beat. All right, let's delete that. So next we're going to have a recording track. So let's just call this, let's just call it record. All right, so this is what we're going to record on, and it's going to be a mono track. Yeah, we're going to record in mono. So this is going to be our record track, and we're going to make it red so we know it's our record track. Red to me, I associate with recording. And on this track here, I'm going to have a compressor on there. Use the R compressor, and we're going to use this template here. It's in factory vocal. We're just going to use that preset. That's going to be our preset. We're going to put a Waves tune on there, or whatever your auto tune preference is. I use Waves tune. Now we're going to make it active, right? So this plugin is not going to be active because not every song that we record is going to have auto tune on it. But if the artist gets in the booth and he says, yeah, I want some auto tune on this, then we can just go, yeah, no problem, and just make active, and it's ready to go. Yeah, but if it's inactive, then it's not affecting the audio, and also it's not affecting the audio, and also it's not taking up CPU. All right, the more plugins you have on your thing, the higher you're gonna have to make this buffer size. Otherwise, you're gonna get crashes and pops and glitches and stuff. So the idea is to have keep it minimum, your plugins, whilst recording. When you're mixing, you can put everything on there, but whilst we're recording, we want to keep it really stripped back, as little plugins as possible. Cool. Then we're gonna have a I usually put a reverb on here as well, so we're just gonna use the deverb. Put that gain up, and then just bring this down to like 6%, and that way there's just a little bit of reverb in your headphones when you're recording. If you want to add more, because some singers feel they can sing better when they've got a lot of reverb, you know, things like that, then you can just bring that up to taste, I guess. But as a default, we'll just keep it on 6. Cool. Do I want anything else on my record? I don't think so. We do, however, want Hornet Song Key Mark IV. Now you can use whatever song key plugin. There's a bunch of them, and this is just so whilst we're working, whilst we're playing the beat or whatever, it's working out the song key. Now you need to know the song key so you know what auto-tune settings to have. All right, but like I said, we're not always gonna have auto-tune on our projects, right? We're not always recording people that want auto-tune, but it's good just to have that there. So, you know, so you can be quick when someone says, oh yeah, do you know what, let's get some auto-tune on this hook. I can just quickly open this. Oh, the song's in A minor, A sharp minor, make active, and it's just quickly ready to go, just like that. A sharp minor, and I'm ready to, you know, because I always say this, I know I sound like a broken record, but we just want to be quick as possible. When we're recording someone, they just want to get their eyes there down, and I'm sure when you record yourselves, you just want to get things done quick as possible. So we're going to keep that active, but we're going to make this inactive, and we're going to keep the reverb active. Cool. So this is going to be our channel that we record on. You need to set your input as whatever your mic is. So if you've got an interface like me, then you've got a bunch of inputs, but you might only have one input, you might have two inputs, whatever it is. You just need to figure out what your input is. Mine is this one here, mic 1, so that's my input. So you can hear my voice coming through there. That's because yeah, that's all set, perfect. In fact, I'm gonna change that just so I don't have any problems with echoing and stuff. Then we want some audio tracks, right? So lead vocals. All of our lead vocals are going to be, let's say 4. 4 is a good amount, I'd say. 4 lead vocal tracks. So this is going to be our verses, our hooks. Let's make them, should we make them yellow? Orange. Let's make them green so they really stand out. Cool. So I don't usually have anything on these tracks, right? I always use like a bus, like a auxiliary, a send, whatever you want to call it. Well, it's not really a send, but yeah. I usually have a lead vocals bus, which we're going to get to in a second. So we've got our 4 tracks here. And what that means is, as we record, say we hit record and we record in a take. Let me just make sure that this isn't messing with my audio. No, it's not. All good. So after we've recorded a take, I can just drag that down to here and they can play it and they can hear it back. Usually I'll have one track for the verse, another track for like the hook, you know, things like that. So, and also it means that if you're recording something that slightly overlaps your last take, there's no problem, because we can just record over it and it doesn't delete your track, and then, you know, you can just do a split, something like that. You know, that's the kind of idea. Now we don't want to, because if we started adding plugins to all of these separately, say you do all of these takes, right? This is how your project looks. You got your hook there, you got your verses, look more like this, I guess. You got your verses, then you got the little punch-ins here. Say if the artist wanted to do another take, like just change one word, you got your punch in there. Now we're not gonna add plugins to all of it's pointless. Like if I started compressing this track, I'd have to copy the same settings to all of these tracks so they're the same. So that's why we use buses. So we're gonna create a new track, and it's going to be an aux input, but it's going to be stereo, and we're going to call it lead vox. All right, so all of these tracks are going to get sent to this lead vox. That way, if we do it that way, then like I said, we can add plugins to everything. We don't have to add plugins all separate and all of that kind of stuff. We can just add the plugins to this and it will affect all of them. That way, we're one, it's saving us time, and two, like I said, the more plugins you start adding to your sessions, the more latency you're gonna get, because you're gonna have to put the buffer size up. Otherwise, you're gonna get pops and all of that kind of stuff. So let's make the output of all of these bus, and on your session you're gonna have to put it on a new bus. I guess I could just do it just to show you 5 and 6. and then we'll rename those lead Vox. And then our input for our send for our aux track is going to be lead Vox. All right. So now when I'm recording the artist, you know, he's rapping or she's singing. While they're doing some practice tests, I usually am getting my compressor set up the way I like it. Usually I aim for about -3 decibels of gain reduction. And whilst they're recording, I'm doing that. And that way, when I'm ready to play back the track, I can just copy the R compressor to my lead vocals. Just like that. So now those settings that I've got whilst they're recording is on all of my vocals, all of my takes, my hook, everything. Yeah. That's pretty, I think, straightforward so far. You know, I understand that kind of the auxiliaries and the buses kind of, it does people's heads in a little bit. I understand, but I hope you realize why it's good to work with buses and why it's important that you do, or at least try to learn to work with buses. I'm going to have a bit of tea. And also I'm going to message back and let this artist know that the link expired. The link expired. Cool. So I'm hoping that's pretty straightforward as it goes. Also, a little tip whilst we're kind of on the fly. If you record something, I always keep everything, right? So say the artist has just recorded this take and they say, can I hear it back? I just pull that down, play it, they can hear it. And they say, no, let's go again. Keep that, but let's go again. I always send to move to new playlist. Like that. And I think on Logic it's called Compin or something. I don't know what it's called on Logic. But then all of their takes will be down here. So it's just hidden away just under this little drop down menu here. Playlists. Yeah. Cool. We're going to get to headphones in a sec as well. I've not forgotten about, you know, how to monitor in your headphones. It really does depend on what kind of interface you've got. So I'll get into that in a sec. So on our lead vocals bus, I usually have a few plugins ready to go. Like I said, I'll usually copy that, compress it down to save time. But I'll always have an EQ. Pro Q. Fab Filter, Pro Q2. I should really get the Pro Q3. I'm really slacking in it. I'm like just moving with some retro plugins, rude boy. So yeah, I have an EQ. Always have a DSR. DSR. And then usually I have another compressor. So let's say there's a cell compressor. All right, so I usually have my settings on the SSL compressor like that. Set this back to 0. Cool. So these all will be inactive as well. Inactive, inactive, inactive. So what will happen is we'll record a take. They'll listen back and they say, I like that. Blah blah blah, and then I'm like, cool. Whilst we're recording, whilst I'm playing stuff back, I start mixing, just giving it a rough mix. So that's when I'll make this active and I'll start messing with the EQ and stuff like that. Same with the DSR and SSL compressor. I like to do things so like I don't want them to notice that I'm even doing it. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't like bore them. 9 times out of 10 artists don't want you to sit there and mix in front of them. They want to move on to the next song. They want to record as much, especially if they're paying. They want to get as much recorded, but at the same time they want to leave with something they can listen to and sounds like, you know, something you can listen to. Whoops, sorry about that. So whilst it's important to get a good solid foundation for a mix. You don't want to kind of do it on their time, if that makes sense. So usually when they say, let me hear the song back from the top, that's when I'm mixing. That's when I'm doing changes. Or sometimes when they're recording ad-libs, that's when I'm doing changes, things like that. Cool. So that's our lead vocals. Then you have backing vocals, right? So that's doubles, you know, usually, not usually, but sometimes if someone wants to double up their hook, I'll do the lead vocal and then I'll have 2 doubles and I'll pan the doubles to make it sound thicker. It's a bit of an old trick. It's a little bit played out now. You don't really hear it as much as you used to, but yeah, that's kind of one thing. Also, you got stabs, ad-libs. So we're gonna create some more mono audio tracks. For background vocals. Actually, no, let's call it background vox like that. 4, yeah, 4 is good. You see how it labels it 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. That's nice. Save you some time. Let's make these yellow. And also we're going to make our bass here, our lead vocal bass, purple. Just so, for me, I like doing that just so it kind of, I can see the break. So it just, I don't know, it just looks a little bit more uniform to me. I like it. Make sure the screen, so full screen. Okay, so our background vocals, again, not really putting anything on the individual tracks. We're going to create a bus to send all our background vocals to, and it's going to be a stereo bus, aux input, and we're going to call it background vocals. No, that's not spelled right. Background vocals. I really need to be able to type without looking. I'm a bit of a millennial. Lead vocals. I'm gonna make this purple as well. And the same thing. We're just gonna throw some plugins on here. For background vocals, I like to just use the SSL comp. In fact, I like the R compressor as well, but usually, in fact, no. Let's just keep the SSL comp. Let's keep it, like I said, let's keep it basic. My dog's barking for some reason. But on the background vocals, I like to do a lot of compression. So whereas on here, on the lead vocals, I'll do like -4 decibels of gain reduction. On the background vocals, I might do like 8 or 12. Cool. And EQ, same sort of thing. EQ and a DSR, and that's it. That's all we're adding to our buses. Like I said, we're keeping it very simple. This is all you need. I swear to you, this is all you need. You don't need any more plugins than these when you're just recording. When you're mixing, yes, we can throw some more plugins in the works, but when you're recording, this is all you need. So background vocals, then you might have some ad-libs. Ad-libs. I usually, yeah, we can send them to our background vocals as well, but I'll make them a different color. Make them like this blue. And then for the ad-libs, I like to put my plugins on the actual channel. This is the one thing that I'll put plugins on the actual track. We're going to use that lead vocal preset again, but this time we're going to do a 10 point whatever ratio. We're really going to smash the ad-libs to make them sound different. We want them to sound different to the lead vocals and the background vocals. You might want to do Pro Q2, and let's do a phone effect. Just like that. And then what else should we put on there? Put an auto panel on there. Auto Pan, or if you don't use Pro Tools, you can use the Pan Man from Sound Toys. Both of these are good. We'll do the Pan Man because I know a lot of people don't actually have Pro Tools that watch my videos. Oops, I just loaded up the same bloody plugin again. Pan Man. Put it on that and make it smooth. The width about 40, like that. And we'll put it on that 1 bar. That's how we do it, just like that. Cool. What else do we want on our ad libs? Let's get a reverb on there. Any reverb, you can use whatever reverb you like to use. We'll use the Valhalla if you want, because again, I know not everyone uses Pro Tools. I've got a nice preset here that you guys can copy. I'll give you a sec if you want to copy, screenshot, whatever. Oh, I can't beat a cup of tea, can ya? Can't beat a cup of tea. Yeah, so you can just mess around with that mix knob, but this is kind of the ad-lib reverb that I use. Again, we're gonna just make everything inactive so that we're not using unnecessary CPU. All right, cool. So just want you guys to understand. Again, I'll go through it one more time. So we record our take. If it's ad-libs that we've just recorded, then I'll just drag this down to the ad-libs like that. Now you can record on the track separately, like if you want, but I don't know. This is just the way that I do it. This is the way that I found easiest. I know some people, like big engineers, that record on the track separately, but this is just how I found easiest. And like if for example, you can move this, so if you're doing the ad-libs, you can just do that and then move it around. Oops. And then move it around. But yeah, this is how I like to record. It also makes it easier when we're doing headphone mixes, which I'll show you in a sec. So we're gonna send. Oh wait, we didn't set our outputs, did we? Seven, 8. I'm gonna set our outputs to 7, 8. And we're gonna rename these background vocals. Lovely stuff. Cool. Now, one more bus, and it's gonna be our all vocals bus. All vocals. Give me a sec. Cool. Just wanted to make sure I'm still live. Still live. All right. Yeah, so then we got all vocals. We're gonna make this purple as well. In fact, maybe we can make it a different shade of purple so we know. Yeah, so we know it's kind of different. And this is where your lead vocals and your background vocals go. And this is just so if you need to turn down all the vocals, like if all of the vocals are a bit too loud, we can just turn down all of our vocals here. If you want to turn down the background vocals, you can just turn down the background vocals here. If you want to turn up the lead vocals, you know. Again, another reason why buses just help so much. And then on our all vocals, we're going to copy our reverb to the end of there. Yeah? Now, if you want to do separate reverb for your background vocals, again, we can do sends, which I'll show you in a sec. But I don't know, if you just want a basic setup, recording setup, I wouldn't even bother. I'll just do it just like this. And if someone says, oh, can you do a different reverb, just swap the reverb out. Or, you know, sometimes an artist might say, oh, can you make the hook in the phone effect? And then you can just add an EQ to the track like that and do a phone effect like that. If there's just like one set of vocals that need an effect on it, there's nothing wrong with doing it separately, and that's how I would do it. If an artist says he wants the hook to be a phone effect, that's how I would do it. I don't tend to use that much automation when recording, maybe just on a beat, but we'll get into that in a sec. Cool. And then our all vocals are going to go to our mix bus. Need vocals, mix bus. It's input. The input for this is going to be mix bus. And that way we can send our lead vocals to the mix bus as well. No, yeah, we want to send our lead vocals, sorry, to all vocals. I didn't even set an input for that, did I? No, I didn't. So yeah. Oh no, I said it wrong, sorry. Our input's going to be, I'm going to use one from earlier. It's going to be all vocals, okay? Bus, all vocals. So yeah, our background vocals and our lead vocals need to go to that all vocals bus. And that way, if you want to turn down all your vocals, you can just pull that down. If you want to mute all your vocals and just hit a beat, you can just mute it. Simple. We're not making this too complicated. Right, so and then on your mix bus, I don't have anything on my mix bus on a recording template except whatever your choice of limiter kind of volume plugin is, but we don't add this till the very end. So we make this inactive, but when you're about to bounce the track for the artist, then you can make sure it's loud enough and good to go, so that when they take it home in their earphones, they can hear it at a good level. Cool. So let's make that inactive as we would. In fact, let's change the color of this mix bus because green is just not it, is it? Let's change it to that. Cool, so let's talk headphone mixes. Now, I'm not sure how it works with the really small interfaces, but say, for example, you had the Focusrite, the small Focusrite, I don't know what it's called, the Scarlett, whatever it's called. It should come with this software, right? Can you see that? Let's make sure you can see that. Yeah. Cool. It should come with this software, and here you kind of see where your headphone jack is. So you need to find out what your output is for your headphones using whatever interface you use, because then we can do this. We can create a send. So instead of like before we was doing busing, we're going to do an output because it's actually coming out of the hardware. So we're going to do an output, and whatever output your headphones are plugged into on your interface, you need to find out for yourself. You set it to that. So mine is on 3 and 4. I've got 2, but let's just say that it's on just 3 and 4. Cool. Now this controls the level that's coming out of your headphones. So if an artist says, oh, can I get my vocals a little bit louder? Don't start turning it up on your interface, your input up. Turn it up here, because then you're going to be messing with all your levels. You're going to be recording too high. If your vocals sound too low, turn it up on one of these, right? And the same goes with a beat. You can just copy that over to your beat. So your backing track, your instrumental, you could control your headphone mix the same way. And then what I'll do also is copy this to my all vocals. All right. So you've got that output, and again, I'll show you how to do it one more time. You click on the send section. Is it easier if I show you on this screen? So yeah, so all vocals, see your sends, you click there, output, and whatever your output is, and then you can turn it up and down. If you click this pre-fader as well, it means that you can turn down this on your mixer and it won't turn down in your headphones. If that's clicked there, then you can do whatever you want with this and it won't affect the level in your headphones. Now, if you're recording yourself and you're just recording in your room, you're recording yourself, you probably don't need to worry about this, because, you know, for me, it's good because I could control my levels out here in the control room, or my speakers different to what they're hearing in the booth. That's why it's really important for me to do this. And also you can hear, like, when you're recording, you got some reverb, or you got the auto tune on there. You can hear the auto tune as well whilst you're recording. Things like that is what makes that good practice to use. Anything else? Let's just kind of go through like what you do when you're gonna record someone. Yeah, let's say someone's come in and they've made you download the beat off of YouTube. This is our beat, this free Rust beat, whatever, blah blah blah. First thing you're gonna do as soon as you start is turn the beat down. Just get into the habit of turning this down by like 10 decibels. And that's because of, most of the time, producers, when they upload their tracks, or they send you their tracks, they want it loud as possible, right? Because they want it to sound loud enough. Like if you look at the waveforms on these beats, when it finally loads, like, they're just maxed out. They're limited as hell. They're maxed out. So the first thing you need to do is just turn that down. Just make it practice just to immediately turn it down. Minus 10 decibels. Cool. That way you're not recording too loud to try and hear yourself over the beat or anything. As soon as you turn that down, then you're just working around a quiet beat. It just works out better for you in the long run. And also, when you download beats off of YouTube or you use MP3s, there's always going to be this gap at the beginning. So you got to make sure you cut that gap out. And anytime, like 100% of the time you download an MP3 off of YouTube, it's going to have that gap. So make sure you cut that gap out and move it forward. Then you want to find your BPM, and the reason why finding your BPM is important because it just makes it so much easier for you to edit audio and things like that. So let's just turn this down. So the way that I find my tempos is I'll do it with the keyboard. I tap T in Pro Tools. I don't know what the crack is in Logic, but I'll just highlight the BPM there. So it's going to be about 100, and you can usually tell if you're right because you'll see like the drums will line up with the lines. You can see it's not quite lined up there, so it might be 99. See, you see how the peaks are lined up with the lines now? So that probably means it's in time. If you want to double, triple check, you can add a click track. Sorry, I did that a bit quick. Track, create, click track. And then it's in time, right? Sounds good to me. So once you've got the tempo, well, the reason why is good to have the tempo is because now your grid. So let's bring this down to like minus to 1/8, or maybe 1/8. If someone says, "Oh, can you cut out the beat?" You can just, oops. So if they said, "Can you cut the beat out where that snare is?" It's just so much easier like that. Because it's on time. You don't have to like zoom in and like intricately cut things out. It's all on time. And when you're recording as well, it's a lot easier to say you recorded a hook. It's a lot easier to duplicate the hook to the next part of the song where the hook needs to be. So if I wanted to copy this over now, I can just say, okay, I know the hook is going to be coming in on the 17th bar. I can just copy that to the 17th bar. Just like real easy. Yo, what's going on, bro? Do you need to solo safe octaves? I would. So solo safe is if you hold control and click the S, it puts it in solo safe. So that means that if I soloed, say if, for example, the artist just wanted to hear the hook, just the vocals, not the beat, anything else. If I press solo on the hook, sorry, the hook's down here. If you don't solo save things, it will mute your send, it will mute your bus. Whereas if you solo save it, it means that even if something is soloed in a track, this is never muted. Hope that's not too complicated. You're going to want to solo save your mix bus for sure. Definitely solo save your master bus or your mix bus. So yeah, once you've got your tempo, once you've lowered the the beat, then you can start getting your levels. So for example, how can I do this? All right, let's pretend that this beat is the vocalist. Turn this down. Make sure this ain't coming through twice. Hold on one sec. All right, cool. So let's pretend that we're recording someone. I like to, so I'll say to the artist, oh, can you do a practice run? And they'll say, okay, cool. So I'll just get them to rap the verse, rap the song, or sing the song, and I'll hit record. And say this is their vocals coming through when I'm recording. That's too loud. So I just, on my interface, I'm turning them down until it's at a good level. So I'll turn them down until it's coming up to about there. About there is good. Let's get about there is good, I would say. You can use things like meters. Meters will help. Look at that. Exactly -3 decibels as well. You can use meters and things like that. But yeah, you just gotta do a little test run with your artist or with yourself. Make sure your vocals aren't coming in too hot. You want them to be just like dancing around here. These levels, these sorts of levels. You can't really see it in dark mode. On Pro Tools, you can't really see the colors of the meter, but it would be like, up here would be like orange, and then you've got red. You don't want to ever be in the red or anywhere near it. Let's just like say here, 20. Aim for 20, because you can always turn it up. Whereas if it's distorted, you can't get rid of that distortion. So it's better it to be too quiet and you turn it up than it be too loud and you distort it. And if you're recording and you're thinking, oh, but the vocals are too quiet. If I have the level that low, then I can't hear myself. That's why we have these. You can just turn it up here or turn down the beat. The beat might be too loud. So yeah, you record your take. If it's a lead vocal, we drag it to lead vocals. Let's get rid of this click track. Hide that. And then, we record the hook. Just drag it down to the hook. And then say we record some ad-libs. Then I'll usually just do this. Drag it down to ad-libs. Put it back. Or you can just scrunch up the screen a little bit like that. That will make it a bit easier, innit? Because then you can just say, okay, cool, it's a background vocal, throw it down here, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that's pretty much all you need for a recording template. That really is. Honestly, like, I'm not even just saying that to be like, oh, less is more, la, la, la. You don't need anything else in your template. You just want to be able to open it and record quickly, get going, and then you can always add more plugins if you want. But in the recording stage, like I said, I don't think, me personally, from my experience, I've been doing this a little while now, is an artist that doesn't want to just sit behind you whilst you play the same vocal, doing little intricate mixes. You just want to get it sounding good enough, and with practice you'll be able to knock out like just a quick mix that they can take home and listen to and enjoy, and just make them understand, look, this isn't the final mix. You know, when we actually mix it, it's going to sound way better, but you want them to take something home that sounds half decent. So like I said, usually when I'm recording, I would say, okay, cool, just chill. No, in fact, I don't even say that. They'll say to me, oh, can I hear the song back? And whilst I'm playing it back, in those little moments, that's when I'm doing little mixes, or when they're recording their ad-libs, rare. But this is pretty much all you need, I'd say. Maybe a delay. Maybe a delay, but should we add a delay? There should be a shortcut, like a control down or something, innit? I always think that, or alt down. There must be a shortcut for that. Got to be. You'd think that you could just click it and just... Shall I Google it? Let's Google it. No, I'm not even Googling it, because I remember Googling this before and not getting any results. So I know that I don't think there's a way to do it, but there should be that you can just. But yeah, this is pretty much it. I would say this is all you need. But we're gonna go into my actual recording template now anyway, so you can kind of, I guess, see if I'm chatting shit. Like, you can see that my recording template isn't that much more than this. The only thing that's different in my actual recording template is I have effects buses. But one of the kind of reoccurring comments I get is the bus thing kind of confuses a lot of people, like sends and stuff, which is fair enough. It can be quite confusing. So what I would do, say if you, for example, wanted to add some delay. Do you know what? Delay is a bit of a tricky one. I think you do need a delay bus. I don't think you can avoid it, really. I don't think you should avoid it. So I think you should get two delays going, I'd say. And you do one which is delay quarter note, which is, and one which is an eighth, and that's how quick the delay is. And then you can just what do we say this one is? This is 1/4 a quarter, so we make that a quarter delay, and then we can make this one an eighth. So basically, if you wanted to add some delay in the background of your lead vocals, create a new bus. And I'm running out of buses. I think I've run out already, so I'm gonna use my delay. So yeah, before we was doing outputs, and that makes the whole output of the track go to somewhere else, go to a bus, right? But this is a send. This doesn't make the whole audio, it just makes a separate kind of signal of that track go to whatever you have. So for example, we're going to do just a little bit of quarter note delay. That's going to go to this track, and it's just going to send a little bit of signal to that track, just so you can hear a little bit of delay in the background. And then of course we need to send this to our mix bus. It even sounds complicated when you try and explain it, like, what's the word? Layman's. But it really isn't complicated. But I need to do a whole video on just trying to really, really break it down, because when I try and do it without planning it, I can even hear myself sounding just way too complicated and confusing. So yeah, these are our delays. If you want to add some delay to your lead vocals, you got your fourth delay there. You just turn this up. Again, click that. Just turn this up. And the same with the eighth delay. Where is the eighth delay? Same thing with the eighth delay. And we'll put that also on our background vocals as well. And our ad-libs. Eighth delay. Yeah, I think you could probably trying to think how you could set the stream deck to do that. Let me think. If there was like a keystroke or something, it would be easier, but I don't think there is. Let's see, track, clip, send to back, bring to front, group. No, I don't think there is, man. We can go on the quickly go on the Pro Tools shortcuts. God, I know everyone loves a manual. Find, move, clip, move, clip. No. Move clip start to current. No. Move clip start to selection start. No. Move clip sync. No. Move audio. Constrain audio clip to vertical movement. What does that even mean? Nah. Yeah, I think it's a myth still. All right, cool. Where was we? Where were we? Yeah, the way that buses were explained to me when I first learned, because I learned it on a desk, like at uni and college, like a big desk, and it was that you have buses because all of these tracks. So how did he put it? It's that all of your audio tracks get on the bus. A bus carries lots of different audio tracks, like how a bus carries lots of people, and that will carry it to the master. That was kind of the explanation, I guess. And then you send to your effects, like your delays and reverbs. But anyway, let's let me open up my actual record template and let's have a look at what we got. Jay Shredder, thank you, man. Thank you. I don't live stream often. I want to do some more live streams. Definitely over the summer, maybe once a month or something. All right, so this is my actual recording template. So already it looks like there's just bare plugins, and I was just chatting rubbish in what I was saying before about not having plugins on the separate tracks. But this, but these VMRs are my microphone. So I have the virtual mic system by Slate. So you need to have these open for it to actually work as intended on all of the separate tracks. So that's all it is. It's just the VMR. And then I use the Console 1 instead of the R compressor that I mentioned earlier. Oh, the Console 1's behind me. I use the Console 1. And it's just because it's solely, I don't think the Console 1 necessarily sounds any better than other SSL plugins, but it's solely because it's fun. Like whilst I'm recording, it probably I look like more of a professional when I'm like twisting knobs and stuff. So while they're recording, that's when, and I like the interface. I like the interface a lot. The Console 1 interface is so good. So we plug this in real quick. Oh, blank screen. There you go. So I just think it's just when I'm recording and say like I'm getting my input, so I say to the artist, oh yeah, let me get, you know, just run through your vocals, let me get some levels. I know that minus 12 here on this see, my one's called tracking. 12 here is like the perfect level for me that I like. And then I've got the Tube Tech compressor loaded on there, so I can do a bit of compressing. And then once I get the compression that I like, I'll just copy it to all of the channels using the copy button. If you hold copy, you can just copy all of your things. You can do a bit of EQ. I just think it's more fun and it's quicker, I guess, and it just looks cooler. And that's the most important thing, isn't it? So yeah, like I was saying before, I've just got my mic there. I've got the Waves tune ready to go. If an artist says, yo, can I get some auto tune on there? It's ready to go. I've got the Hornet song key finder like I just showed you, so that if they do say, oh, can you get some auto tune on there, I already know the key. And it's the same thing. And then my lead vocals, look, 4 plugins. Background vocal, 2 plugins. And then I got my reverbs, and then all of my effects are here. Again, they're inactive just so I'm not using up CPU. But yeah, it's pretty much what I just showed you was pretty much a very simplified version of this. The thing is with this is because there's so many plugins that are just for Console 1 and the mic. It looks like there's just bare plugins on there, and I use a lot of plugins, and I think that confuses people. So yeah, the first half of this video is just follow that, and you've got yourself a template. The only template you really need, I think, in my opinion. You don't have to use the same plugins I use, but that's the kind of gist. You know, you have a compressor, you have some EQs, and then when you're ready to mix the track, then you can start adding more plugins. I usually come out of the recording session and put it into a new session. But yeah, the Stream Deck is like, I've got a Stream Deck here. I don't use it as much anymore because I stopped using a Stream Deck as much because I was forgetting the shortcuts on the keyboard, and I was kind of conscious that I was going to go to other studios and I wouldn't know shortcuts and I wouldn't know how to do things in front of people. I was kind of like, that was on my mind. So I was like, let me stop using it so much so I can relearn the shortcuts, the keyboard shortcuts. But the Stream Deck is great, man. It's so great. I think there needs to be, and I would love, one of my other things that I wanted to do before mixing was programming. And I've always said, if I was ever to do it again, programming again, I would make a plugin like the Stream Deck where it's just on the screen and you could click the buttons and it would do stuff. So like reverse audio, kind of like, I don't know if anyone's ever used the Slate screen, the what's it called? The Raven. It's like the touchscreen thing. I had it for like a week, and one of the coolest things about it is you had all of these macros basically that you press and it would do a bunch of things. So you could press a button and it would hide all of your drum tracks. For example, if you was working on a band, mixing a band, you could press a button that says just show me the drum tracks, and everything will be hidden except for the drum tracks, or just show me vocals. Like, I would love to make a plugin like that, and I'm that's something that's kind of in the back of my mind. But yeah, something that's been bugging me is this input is wrong. That's been bugging the hell out of me. So let me save this as template. What else was there? There was something else. These ad libs. This isn't my ad lib chain anymore. Yeah, SoundFlow on Apple is it seems like pretty much what I'm talking about. But yeah, in general, Windows, MIDI, and things like that is just so bad. If you've watched my videos before, I'll always kind of say I'm a Windows guy. Like, my phone, I've got an Android, like. But the one thing about Windows and mixing and producing on Windows is any time you introduce MIDI into the equation or anything like that, it's just terrible, man. I had one of these, the Raven, the touchscreen thing. It just didn't work on Windows. It just didn't work very well. So I sent it back. And then I got a controller, like with the faders and stuff. And again, it just didn't work. It was too much hassle. MIDI just isn't great on Windows, I don't think. Cool. Yeah, let's just get rid of all of this shit. So the last time I did a live stream, someone sent me a, I don't remember who it was, I apologize, but someone sent me a Quavo Pro Tools session, and I've just absolutely just robbed the ad-libs the ad-libs presets from his from that Quavo session. As you saw, when I don't know if you saw that, let me do it again. But yeah, there was a bunch of plugins that I don't have, but yeah, just get rid of them. But I really like this. This is really cool sounding for ad-libs. So I want my ad-libs to be get an EQ in there. Mono. And then auto pan. Yeah, that's kind of going to be my ad-libs track right there. Oh wait, no, get rid of that. But yeah, big up whoever sent me that Quavo session. That was a little gem there still. Cool, but yeah, that's kind of everything with templates. I'm gonna do, there was something that I was gonna do kind of in my spare time, but I might just do it whilst I'm on stream. I watched a video about Jason Joshua's drum bus, and I want to try and recreate that. Well, recreate something that I saw on that video. So let's get into that in a sec. Oh yeah, cool. Make sure this is right. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna save as template, record template. Cool. So yeah, what I saw. Should we take a little break? My tea's probably cold. I'm not used to talking so much. My throat's hurting. Cool. So yeah, let's create a new track. Drums. Wait. Drums. Test. Stream. Save changes to record. I mean, okay. Jay Shredder, thank you, man. Thank you. Oh, you can't like comments on this. All right, cool. But yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for checking me out. But yeah, listen, we're gonna I'm gonna need to download. So let me give you the kind of long and short of it. So Jason Joshua, in recent years, has been just giving us a whole lot of game. Like, he does a lot of live streams now. He's just on Instagram all the time, giving us little tips. He's doing Mix with the Masters stuff. And one of the videos, he had his drums going into his desk on two different Neve preamps. Two different Neve preamps. And his reasoning was because they sound slightly different, it gives his drums a bigger sound, like more width. So I was trying to think, how can I recreate that with plugins? And I know he already did a thing where he's got like 100 of those what are they called? The NLS, is it? Is it NLS? Yeah, NLS summon plugins. But I wanted to see if I could just keep it a little bit more simple with just the 1073s. So let's hide some of this. Let's just hide everything, in fact. So I'm going to get some drums in here and I'm going to see if it works. I'm going to try and recreate it. We're going to need to do an output with OBS. So you guys can hear if you're still tuned in. Still a few people on here apparently, and also this is going to be uploaded to YouTube, so hopefully people enjoy it when it's on YouTube as well. Let's get some drums. Let's get some drums. Drums. I want some good drums though, man. What do I know is some good drums? Brick like water. Why has it got this elastic audio? Shit, man. All right. Hi-hat, open hat, kick. Got a snare in there already. Is there anything else? No. Oh shit. What else we need? The kick. Kick and open hat. All right, so we're gonna try and replicate this now. So let's see if you guys can hear these drums. No, you can't hear. I think it's because I've not bust these to. Oh. Oh, there you go. There you go. Sorry if this is really loud. Oh, my headphones are at my house. Oh shit. Ah, man. All right, 2 secs. Let's set up my headphones are at my house. Let's set up a quick voiceover track. Right, I'm gonna mute my mic for a sec. Test, test, test. Okay. Test, test, test. Okay. I'm guessing you can hear me. I don't think there's anyone left in the chat, so this might just be a complete flop. But yeah, let's try a thing. Let's get this cracking. Cool. So what we're gonna try and do is we're gonna download. I've already got one Neve preamp plugin. Let's get another one though. We'll get the Waves one because their free trials are quite good. If it works and it sounds good, then I will buy the plugin, obviously, but we won't know until I try it. What is their Neve preamp plugin again? It's not the Abbey Road one. What the fuck is it called? Oh, is it this? The Shep 73. I think it's that, isn't it? It just looks. Right, how do I get a free download? That's what I want to know. Add to cart. How'd you get the demo? Subscribe? Bro, I'm not subscribing to your silly. I don't know if you guys saw the whole thing with the they did like a subscription service and everyone just got pissed and they just reversed that decision so quickly, which is mad because I imagine a lot of time went into planning the rollout of that, and for them just to go back on it. It's good though, man. It's good when kind of the little people come together and they take a stand for something and win. All right. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to split this drum bus in two. So split into two mono tracks. Make it active. Drums left. Drums right. Cool. And we're gonna add a meter so we can know for sure that it's definitely gain matched on both sides, and it's not like why are you updating now of all times? So I did a little test before, and I did it with two different ones. They weren't both Neve though. It was 73. It was this on the left, and then on the right I had this one. And I actually liked how it sounded. I thought it sounded pretty good. But I wanted to see what it sounded like with two kind of Neve models, I guess. It does sound big, but are we losing some punch though? That's the only thing. Maybe if we add a mono maker on the low end. So maybe if we have the all drums, we activate this. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream in it. As such, viewers will experience buffering. That's all right. So just to ensure that we're not losing any kind of that punch in the low end, we're going to use this mono maker, and we'll put it quite high. We'll put it on like 100. It sounds good. It sounds good, but I hope I'm not being tricked. I hope my ears aren't tricking me. I really want to try it with the other Neve plugin as well. Let's Wave Central. What's it doing? Oh, there you go. Let's get a imager. Let's see what it's doing on an imager. It doesn't actually look too crazy. As you can see, when you bypass the BrainWorks digital EQ, you can see that the little line is getting wider. Yeah, that would probably suggest that there's probably too much going on there in the stereo field, especially for the low end, because you want the low end to kind of really knock, so you want it dead center. Help us improve, bro. No thanks. All right, what's it called? The Schweppes. Oh, my plugins, all plugins. I know this isn't gonna work, by the way. I know it's not gonna. What's his name? Andrew Sheps, is that? Oh, I forgot to see. Shep 73. All right, let's install that. I know this isn't gonna. Oh, I've got to close Pro Tools and OBS. Okay, that's not gonna run. That's not gonna work. But yeah, that's something that I'm kind of want to experiment with. I kind of want to experiment on kind of. I don't know. I feel like I want to get my drums to sound a little bit more awesome. But yeah, I think that live stream was pretty good. It says here we had 13 people in here at one point, so that's quite good considering we were just streaming in the middle of the day. Hadn't really put any information out that I was even going to live stream. I just kind of decided last minute. Yeah, I hope this has been insightful. I hope you guys can get inspired. But yeah, I think that live my voice is so corny, man. I hate it. I hope you found it interesting. I just kind of wanted to show you guys that these templates, I get asked for templates so much, and I think you're putting way too much stock in templates. Like, they really are used to just make your life easier and not make your mixes better. So I really want you to kind of to drive that home. My recording template was, as you saw, was not that much different to the quick one that I showed you how to set up. So I'm hoping that you can follow that video and set up one for yourself. And yeah, man, I hope you have fun using it. I hope you have fun recording and mixing. I'm going to be doing more live streams. I kind of want to put out more content. I would say I've been as consistent as I've ever been this year. I kind of been trying to put out a video every 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. So this is live stream is gonna act as a video because it's gonna go up for you guys to view. It's gonna be a long one, so I'll put in the description some timestamps because we kind of split this video into a few parts. There was me setting up a recording template, then there was me showing you my recording template, and then we just had that little messing around at the end there. I kind of wanted to do more with that, but we kind of ran into a roadblock with Waves. But that's something that I kind of do in my own time now, because I really want to get my drums to knock, man. I feel like that's what I want to improve on in my mixes. But anyway, if you tuned in live, thank you guys so much. If you're watching this kind of on the upload, thank you guys as well. Make sure you hit the like button. I'd love it if you would do that for me. It's free and it supports. Also subscribe if you haven't already. If you don't want to miss these live streams, because they're going to be quite sporadic, hit the notification bell and you'll get notified when I'm doing a live stream next. And yeah, maybe we'll do another template video. Maybe we'll do another template live stream, but we'll do a drums one. A mix one, which is way more intricate than our recording template. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Of course, tuning in if you was with us live. This will be uploaded so you can watch it back. And yeah, let me just make sure that that's set to upload after. I don't want to live chat, messages, live reactions, blah 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 blah. Yeah, I think that's all set up. All right, cool. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next stream, hopefully maybe next month. A new video will be going out. What date am I thinking? Probably next weekend. Probably, maybe. But I've got it all recorded and everything. It's just about when I want to put it out, really. I've been like kind of stockpiling videos where I've just been picking a day out of the month and just recording like 4 or 5 videos in one go and just putting them out over the month. That's why you'll often see me wearing the same clothes, but I don't really care, to be honest. But yeah, I'm waffling now. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And yeah, and peace. Have fun mixing and recording.